Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another vlog. This is Scattergorathon. This is the readathon that my Patreons and I are doing. It's based on the Scattergories Chooses My TBR, the TBR game that I did for 2 years. And I retired it in January of 2023. But I made it a readathon, so we're testing it out with the Patreons. Before I get into everything and what's been going on, or what is going to be going on this weekend, let me throw it back to a couple of days where I chose my first book, and Derek is going to be participating too, so he chose his. Okay, we're here to pick you a book.
Woohoo!
Well, we're going to pick me a book too.
All right.
But you're going to do it first.
Okay.
Okay, you're going to roll this the first time.
Yes.
And you're gonna pick the prompt.
Yes.
And then you're gonna do that again. Pick the letter. One of the words in the title has to start with that letter.
All right.
Okay, go.
5.
Okay, that's a genre that you don't read as often. So basically not historical or fantasy.
Okay.
Actually, you could probably even just say not historical.
Okay.
Because that's like your most read genre.
True.
So if you're stretching the prompt, it would be you don't read fantasy as often as you do history.
Technically that is correct. So.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Roll number 2. 3. A.
Zach, you could read Ashes of the Sun.
I don't know what that is.
Gay fantasy Star Wars.
Oh. Okay. There we go. Or not.
We'll pick a book. Okay. What did you pick?
Drum roll, please.
Ashes of the Sun. He's gonna scoot over out of the frame. He's gonna read Gay Fantasy Star Wars this weekend. And you're gonna read it this weekend.
All of it?
Yeah, all of it.
Okay.
We have the audiobook.
Okay.
So, okay. Now I'm gonna pick mine.
Okay.
Okay, you can put it down now.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm back. Here, I'll hold this for you.
Okay. 6. A first book in a series. Love that.
Love that.
Love that. Okay. Only one of those letters will work. And it's not that one. F. Okay, hold on. Okay, this was the punishment that I thought was going to come at the end of when I ended Scattergories to begin with. I thought I would get the retribution there, but no, we're just going to get it here. So literally the only first book in a series that has an F in it that I own is this book, which is both huge and not anywhere close to being on my immediate TBR. It's high fantasy. I want to read it. It sounds very interesting. It takes place in Africa. But, I don't have time for this right now. So, tentatively, we're going to put this on the TBR. However, we're going to look at KU and see what happens there. We'll see you in a couple days. Okay, so it's literally still Wednesday night, but I'm sitting here realizing that I can read From Blood and Ash by Jennifer Armentrout, which is still not better. It's still very, very much a big book. But then at least I can join Hannah's discussion at the end of the month. So there we go. So yes, I'm going to be reading From Blood and Ash by Jennifer Armentrout, which is not a great start. It's a almost 20-hour audiobook, so love that for me. I'm going to be trying to read as much as I can on audio today. I don't know if it's going to work. I have meetings essentially back to back from 10 to 3 today, with maybe 15-20 minute breaks in between. So I don't know how much reading I will be getting done. I just got my coffee, so I'm gonna listen to some. I've got about a 35-minute audio drive, so I'll be able to get a little bit done, and we'll just chomp away. And then I've got sprints tonight, so that'll be good. All right, I'll talk to you later. Good evening. It is a little after 7 tonight. We are on sprints right now. Margaret has joined me and I am reading From Blood and Ash. I am almost 200 pages in and I'm actually quite enjoying it. It's messing with my brain a little bit because when I'm reading an epic high fantasy, I'm reading it for the plot. I'm reading it for the story. I'm reading it for the politics, for the world building, whatever. And then when I read a romance, I'm reading it for the romance, for the characters. And this has a little bit of both. which I'm enjoying, don't get me wrong, but it is making me focus on different things as we go about, and we kind of have to like break from the romance and start working on the politics, and then like stop the politics because he's hot, that kind of thing. And it's just messing with my brain a little bit, and it is actually making me want to read more fantasy romance, so that's good. I'm really glad that I picked this book up, despite it being very long, and I'm in a very short readathon, but that's okay. I would like to, we're probably going to do 2 more sprints after this. So we should be, like I should be able to get a pretty good chunk into it. I'm going to go back to reading it right now. This was a surprise for sure. And I'm glad I picked it up. So I'm just doing some crocheting. I've got my yarn here and I'm just kind of chilling. I'm just vibing today and it feels great. So Derek has not started his book yet. Derek thought that the readathon started tomorrow because I said weekend. Apparently weekend for him means Saturday, not Friday. But that's okay. He still said he's going to finish it this weekend. So we'll get an update from him later. Hello, happy Saturday morning-ish. It's not really morning anymore, but I am less than 100 pages from finishing Blood and Ash, and I'm very much enjoying this. This is very good. It's the slowest of burns in terms of romance. Like we just had our first scene. But like it's quite good. And there is like now like the end, like the plot twist is happening. And while I probably maybe saw it coming, it was still like, I don't know, like I think the author still wrote it very well. And I think that like the character was shocked. So that's really the important thing. Yeah, I am having a good time. I added this whole series to my series tracker because I'm going to continue reading it. I was missing out. That's all there is to it. So yeah, I'll probably finish it on my first sprint. I'm starting sprints in about 30 minutes and I have a little over 30 minutes left. So we'll do 1 sprint and then I'll roll on sprints and we'll pick out a book together. So I'll see you like in an hour. Good afternoon. It's a couple of hours later. It's an hour or so later, I guess. I finished From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I'm giving this 4.5 stars. I very much enjoyed this. The reveal was very good. Like I said, maybe a little bit predictable. Like actually, that's a lie. I actually thought it was gonna be something different along the same lines, but not exactly the same. So I guess it really wasn't predictable. I thought like we were gonna have maybe a Shadow and Bone type thing. I do think that like right at the end, the pacing lost me just a little bit. Just because it was like we had the big reveal and then it tried to come back down and then tried to do another one to like have a cliffhanger, but because we were still reeling from the other one, the last like cliffhanger did not feel quite as like big. Does that make sense? I'm still giving it 4.5 stars. Absolutely loved it. Kind of want to start the next book, but I'm not going to because it's chunky and not on my TBR right now. So there's that. But I did finish it in like 24 hours. So good job, me. So I had all the grand intentions to like, I was going to do the roll on my live, like in between the sprints. And I forgot to turn the camera on because I'm a dummy. But anyway, so I rolled a 2, which was audiobook, and then I rolled and I got a C. So I picked out 4 books, and then we were gonna pick them like on live, and I wanted to make sure it was a short audiobook so it was something that I could easily finish, so that maybe, possibly, I could even get a 3rd one in tomorrow. I don't know, we'll see. But I picked Carrie's Out of His Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I've heard the audiobook is really fantastic for this, so very excited. But I had also picked The Cloisters, I had picked A Caribbean Heiress in Paris, and I had picked The Golden Couple at like 4 different genres. Brittany and I were on live, and she said that the audiobook for this one is really good, so that's what we're going to do. And this is on my 23 to read in 23, so like technically it is, you know, a book that I need to read, but it's not really a book that I needed to read right now. But like, of course, the books that are over here, no, they don't want to be read today. They don't want to be read this weekend. So, guess we'll read them all next week. It's fine. Don't worry about it. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I might just sit here and crochet for a little bit. Obviously, like I just finished a book, so I can add to my book blanket. For once in my life, I am like, you know, on time with it, on par with it, not 3 months behind. Because in my 2022 blanket, I'm still working on August. It's fine. We're not gonna talk about it. So, anyways, I guess we're gonna get back to reading because there's only 30 minutes left. All right, let's go.
Into the place, a spot you from a ways. My heart, it started racing. The crowd across the way, flowers on your face, and then from the 80s, someone keeps back.
Good evening, everybody. It is Saturday night. If I was smart, I would have updated you before I went and took a shower and did my skincare and all of that fun stuff. But no, you're just gonna get hot mess me. It's fine. I'm about 61% of the way through Carrie Soto's back. I actually might finish this tonight. I think on my listening speed, I have like an hour and a half left to listen to it. And it's not super late, so I think I might try to finish that tonight. We'll see. I'm really enjoying it. There is definitely a lot of tennis talk. Like I wouldn't say you need to be familiar with tennis, but you probably at least need to know like the basics of it. I think it explains it well, but you have to at least have some sort of appreciation for the sport because there's a lot of talk of tennis. It's the entire point of the game. I think it's trying to do what Evelyn Hugo did in this like showcasing the before and then leading up to in this kind of like expose style. I'm not sure it's working as well, but I think that part of that is just the character and like you don't like her as much. Not that you really love Evelyn Hugo, but you do. Like she's prickly, but you love her. So I'm conflicted by this one. Like I'm definitely intrigued by it. I'm definitely like excited to go back into it, and obviously like I'm reading it very quickly. It's not giving me like 5-star vibes, you know. So we'll see. We'll see. I am liking it though. I think I'm liking it more than Malibu Rising. So I think in my like rankings of it, obviously right now, like 61% in, we have Evelyn Hugo, which will always be a favorite, the top. Then Daisy Jones. I think I need to reread Daisy Jones in the Six because I haven't read it since it came out. And obviously with a new show coming out, I need to reread it. I think I do. So we might try to do that at some point. I don't know. Based on my recollections, it would be Evelyn Hugo, Daisy Jones and the Six, Carrie Soto, Malibu Rising. I did like that they brought in Mina Riva, who was one of the main characters in Malibu Rising. They kind of mentioned her and her husband, and so I appreciated that. And I like this whole little world. There was this point after a match, a tournament, whatever, I can't remember what they're called. But anyways, she's at her hotel, and she was reading a biography of Daisy Jones and the Six. And I was just like, let's just like a small little cameo, a small little like nod to her other books. If Evelyn comes up in this book somewhere, I will probably lose it, but you know, I haven't seen it yet, other than like the mention of McRiva. I'm probably not gonna update you until tomorrow, because I'm gonna probably like get cozy and stuff, but I'll talk to you later. Good morning, happy Sunday. I did finish Carrie Soto's Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I'm struggling with the rating on this one. I think I'm gonna give it a 4, but it's a low 4. Because here's the thing. Taylor Jenkins Reid is very good at character work. She makes you want to Google the character. I don't know why this bookmark is still in here. I finished it on audio. But she makes you want to Google the character, and like it's so real that you think it's a real person and you think it's written as a memoir. I love that part about it. It definitely had that magic to it. What I'm struggling with is, why did she have to be Hispanic? And why did that have to be such a big part of the plot? Not the plot, but like the characters between her and her father. Like they speak Spanish quite a bit. I don't know. It just like, it feels wrong because she's a white woman writing this. And I know that there's been a lot of conversations about it. You know, the good and the bad are surrounding it. It just feels weird to me that like she's trying to tell someone else's story. I don't know. I'm struggling with this. So we're going to sit at a 4 because it definitely has the magic of Taylor Jenkins Reid. That was good. But yeah, I'm happy I read it. I'm glad I read it. So we're going to try to do one more book. I don't know that I will finish it today because it's Sunday already, but I do have sprints this afternoon and I want to be able to like continue on with Scattergorathon. I'm perfectly happy with having 2 books finished, especially since From Blood and Ash was so long. But we'll see. We're just gonna try it. Maybe I'll even get like a book that I actually need to read on my TBR. So 3 is a recently hauled book. That's good. Okay. All right. Well, then let's figure out what letter. 2 is a C. Let me go see what I can find. Okay, I'm actually gonna pick a really short book because I think that I can actually read this one today, possibly. We'll see. So I'm going to be reading When the Reckoning Comes by Latanya McQueen. This is a horror novella, like a social horror type, but it's only 230 pages and there's an audiobook for it on Scribd. So I'll be able to listen to it on like while I'm on sprints this afternoon. But this is about a Black woman who leaves her hometown because it's very segregated and she just doesn't want to deal with that. She has a white friend, and then the like plantation that is like the central part of this town is turned into like a resort, and her white friend is having her wedding there, and it's not great. First off, the plantation is said to be haunted by the slaves, but it says that the Wisman remains a monument to its oppressive racist history. The bar serves antebellum-themed drinks. Entertainment includes horrifying reenactments, and the service staff is nearly all Black. The darkest elements of the plantation's past, the slaves were tortured mercilessly, have been all carefully erased. So, I've heard really good things about this. I've heard that it's really creepy. I want to say it was Lexi that read this during spooky season. I could be remembering that wrong, but this is going to be today's book. Hello. We are on sprints right now, and so I thought I would come in and check up on you. I'm about 100 pages into When the Reckoning Comes, which is like almost halfway through this book, and I am enjoying it. I don't think that the horror is quite like to the level that I was expecting it, because it was talking about like how there's ghosts in this plantation, and so far we haven't really set that up yet, so I'm really hoping that it does. They are at a graveyard, or they did go to a graveyard, so I'm like hoping that something happens, because right now it's feeling more like literary horror light, I would say, and less horror, so I'm hoping that we get a little bit more disturbing things happening. But I am enjoying, or at least appreciating, and enjoying is the wrong word, but appreciating the conversations that are happening in this book. Definitely like the conversations about racism and ignoring the history that is happening, or that has happened at this plantation, in lieu of capitalism. We're doing one more sprint, so I won't actually be able to finish this on sprints because I have, I think, a little over an hour and a half left of the audiobook, but I'm really hoping that I will finish it tonight. Hello, Editing Brie here. I realized that I never told you guys that Derek was actually reading, or that he was reading Ashes of the Sun. He didn't finish the book, but he did get like almost 200 pages into it, and he said that he will have it read by the end of the month. So there we go. He said he was struggling like getting into it, but then like once he started getting more characters and kind of the book started going, that's when he got into it. But unfortunately, like, there was a lot of football this weekend, and he's a big football fan, so it didn't quite get read. He said it would, but it didn't. But he was enjoying it, so that's good. So yeah, okay. Back to previous me. Good evening. It is about 9 o'clock on Sunday night, and I am officially calling Scattergorathon because I finished my last book. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be giving you a final rating on this because it's a Harper title, and HarperCollins, as of filming this, are still on, or the employees are still on strike for fair wages. You know, it's only been like 2 months. I'll have information linked down below if you don't know what's going on, but I did really enjoy it. I do think that it was written very well. there are ghosts. Literally as soon as I had my last clip, I was like, oh, there are the ghosts. So we have ghosts. But yeah, I enjoyed this. So, you know, listen, this was a very successful weekend. I don't think I've had a weekend where I read this much in 3 days in a very, very long time. So that's great. Do I need to get my nails done and I didn't get to do that this weekend? Yes, I'll do it tomorrow. It's fine. Normally that's what I do. Like, this would have been the weekend that I would have gone and gotten them done. Oh. But yeah, this was extremely successful. They're all 3 books that I really enjoyed. These are also like 3 books that are on my physical TBR. And so even though they weren't necessarily on books that I wanted to read or needed to read in January, I still got them off of my TBR, which is, you know, what I'm trying to do right now, this month. So that's good, at least. That was Scattergorathon round 1. I kind of told my patrons on the sprints today that we're gonna do another round for Patreon probably in May or June, where it'll be a full week long, and we're going to beta test for a public round later in the year. So that is really exciting. I don't know how it's gonna look. I kind of want to make like some sort of competitive aspect to it, but I don't know how that's gonna work. So, you know, we're gonna have to discuss things in the Discord. But I am so thankful to everyone who participated this weekend, to everyone who helped run sprints with me, so that I wasn't by myself all weekend, and just for everything you guys do. I am so blessed and so thankful for you. Anyways, that is all I have for you today. If you are new here and you have not yet subscribed, there's a little red button. You can do so down below the video. If you'd like to hang out with me more, the links to my Instagram, Goodreads, Twitter, and my Patreon are linked in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!